Okay. Jason, do you think we can finish this? No.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like, oh, I think we could finish the Lonnie Zamora in this episode. And you're
No.
like, no.
No, absolutely. Did you see how long it took us to get through Ascendance of the White Sands incident?
That was some pretty deep shit.
That was very deep.
Those are great.
Yeah.
So we ended at the Army comes in 90 minutes.
Yep.
They're investigating, and they said that they support Zamora's claims. And then there's a picture of a sketch of the object from my position at approximately 103 feet. Then it has him like he signed it like a piece of paper or whatever, and it shows like the egg shaped with the symbol on it. It looked like it had tripods on it.
Yeah, it's got to have landing gears. What I find interesting here is he and his team, speaking about Richard T. Holder from White Sands, they were looking for indication of a hoax. That means they know very well when a sighting is legitimate or a hoax. The fact that there was already a procedure in place from the U.S. military in 1964 to identify whether one of these sightings is legitimate or not, that means it's a big deal. Because that way, there's like a lot of people are calling these in, what's going on, and then having that sort of filter for them tells them where they should put their time and resources actually into.
I'm looking up Captain Richard D. Holder on because I think this is interesting. If this is the same guy,
And what they stated, Richard T. Holder and his team, was that they found nothing that was an indication of a hoax. And what they investigated actually supported all of Zamora's claims. And that's what we're going to get into.
So, according to this, Richard T. Holder, he died at 80 in 2011. And he died in Pennsylvania. He was a graduate of Rocky Grove High School. He served in the Air Force for 4 years and then joined the U.S. Army, retiring after 15 years of service. He served in Korea and Vietnam as a helicopter inspector. He was awarded the Army Commendation Medal with Oakley. So he
Inspector?
Yeah.
What do they do? You would know.
Well, I mean, if this is the same guy, well, sometimes they will do this. They will give you titles that aren't really what you are. So, they're not going to say, well, he's Captain so-and-so UFO investigator. So they would just make it, he's a helicopter inspector.
Okay.
Give him like a false MOS.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then that's what he looks like on paper, but top secret documents or classified documents are actually this. But so that seems like that's probably the same guy would be my guess. Because that's around the same time frame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there could be other Richard
T. Holders.
Yeah, there could be other Richard T. Holders that were in the military, but he was in the Air Force and then went into the Army. So
Richard T. Holder, I'm going to be immature for a second. Does that mean his name is Dick Holder?
Yeah, it looks like they interviewed him. So
I love that just went over your head.
I know what you said. I was trying to. That's like you're talking about jacking off earlier.
Yeah, I don't know what my deal is.
Dick Holder.
Yeah.
Do you think he ever got a joke about that? Being in the military, they were ruthless. Especially he's a captain. He's an officer, so the enlisted were just Captain Dick Holder.
Yeah, no, they've just been. People are just like graced with such horrific names. Like the parents did not think it through.
Yeah, so, well, it looks like I'm looking at the obituary for Richard Thomas Holder, and it looks like he died in Pennsylvania, but it does look like he was part of the White Sands Air Force Base, so this must be the same guy.
All right, that's awesome. That is awesome. So they get this sketch, Jason.
Right.
This is something interesting that's happened. The press, do you remember with the White Sands incident?
Mm-hmm.
By the next morning, this is crazy. The incident of Zamora had already spread all over the whole U.S. Don't you find that just wild that the government didn't even try to stop how quickly that was spreading out there? So they're like, yeah, there's nothing that shows it was a hoax, and we actually are. All of his evidence supports his claim. That's coming from the U.S. military. And they just let this thing just run like wildfire. Maybe they couldn't stop it at the time.
Yeah, I don't know if you can, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but obviously there's him.
Oh, there's Holder.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cool photo.
Yeah. So, and he has a Geiger counter.
Yeah, because you're looking for traces of different types of radiation
and stuff like that. Yeah, that's funny that they would come out there. He'd just bring one of those and
what are you
no
showing up with that
mask
for? Yeah,
but this is really cool. I want to show you this. There's an artist rendering.
that looks badass.
Yeah, doesn't it look cool?
Yeah, that's super cool with those blue thrusters and everything down there amongst the sagebrush. And it's got those legs that I wonder if they're telescopic.
Yeah, that's what it's showing, like a
yeah, like three-part telescopic.
Yeah, three-part telescopic leg, and it has like a little going that way. But I doubt that. Well, according to here, and we'll get into that, there was a certain imprint that was put on the rocks.
Yeah,
and that was still there.
Yeah.
So obviously the craft is heavy.
Has weight to it.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you got those thrusters, that's going to be like kicking dust.
Well, yeah, that would be something I would think. Like why is there no?
Was the ground scorched?
Yeah, there's lots of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we'll get into that when we get into the investigation. But the following morning, the Zamora's experience had spread in newspapers all over the United States. Of course, any type of UFO sighting. This was that hot time, 50s and 60s. And then Lonnie started receiving phone calls from all over the world. And there were several reports of unidentified craft in the New Mexico region. There was also...
that were similar to his.
Yes.
I mean, it's New Mexico. First of all, everybody in New Mexico trying to get some limelight. They still are. Everybody is. Come on, who doesn't want to be in the news?
Well, and then also, it's like these celebrity attorneys. Yeah. They'll take a case just because it is a celebrity. They don't even care about the money or anything. They just want to be on TV, and they want to go into the whole courtroom and rile everything up.
Yeah, just stir shit up.
And then attack the city.
Yeah.
And just make it like just a huge shit show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, well, we don't need to deal with this. The city's like, we need to operate, run efficiently. We don't need this shit show. Let's just get this guy.
Yeah, get him when he wants. Get him out of here.
Yeah. So initial investigation. Among those who gathered to meet Zamora, this is important, with just hours of the incident, was New Mexico State Trooper Ted Jordan. Ted Jordan became very important because he was taking pictures.
Yeah.
He took pictures of the site and the indentations on the floor. So we have close-up pictures of the indentation. His camera and film were confiscated.
Why? Why do you not show up with 2 cameras and keister one of those damn film rolls?
He said that he was told that the pictures would be developed and that he would receive copies.
Sure.
After some time, he asked about the photos and was told that the film had been ruined by radiation, that the pictures were no good.
I guess it helps that he had a Geiger counter there, because the guy's like, oh, yeah, I guess it probably was.
Well, that's the story.
Do you know how hot that radiation would have to be
to
just screw that up? Like it's just emitting X-rays out of the ground.
This is classic military shit. This is what they do.
Yeah, I'd be like, no. I'd be like, that's fundamentally untrue.
Like the other day, you fucked me up with all the deaths surrounding Clintons.
Yeah.
So I started looking on. There was like gunshot wounds, being pushed off of, because there was so many of them. It scared the shit out of me. I was like,
a lot.
Holy shit, there's like 20s, and then all the bodyguards. So I was like,
kill anybody.
I got to know all these military bodyguard guys and why they died. Mm-hmm. Some died in plane helicopter crashes. That could be explained. 4 of them died in a helicopter crash. So
do you know how easy it is to pull out one bolt on a helicopter, the whole thing falls apart?
Yeah, exactly.
You and I know how fragile they are.
But I mean, it's so interesting how quickly everything gets covered up, investigated, and done with, and moved on.
Yeah.
So it's like they
cease to happen.
Yes, and they can make it that way.
Yeah.
They can make you not exist, and then they can make... I mean, you know how easy it is to make a person not exist anymore?
If my existence is a passport or a birth certificate,
mm-hmm.
and all my other records are electronic, somebody could just get rid of that in a second.
Yeah, your credit report, everything could be
gone. First of all, I wouldn't hate it.
No.
If I disappeared like that.
Yeah, it would be kind of, it'd be.
And I'm not saying kidnapped. I'm just saying, like, if someone said,
But back in the 1960s, how easy it to cover up shit.
Oh, my God.
I mean, now you have social media and all that. I mean, they could get your passwords and then log in and delete your accounts, but.
Yeah. I walked into a Walmart the other day. I was at the customer service desk returning something. Didn't want to be there. And this lady starts getting in a fight because she's trying to, like, wire transfer money. But the state won't give her a license because they don't recognize her birth certificate.
Was she from the United States, or
yeah,
was she from?
She's from New Mexico here, but she didn't. It's New Mexico, right? She this birth certificate was written up by like some guy who was running one small one-off town somewhere, but it was so long ago, in like the 60s, it's no longer recognized. Anything can happen.
Yeah, especially back then. I mean, there was no.
That's what I'm saying. It's
internet.
Just pen and paper. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, they could totally, and we're going to get into that when we get into the Nazis erasing people.
Hey.
They did that. Well, we did that when on Operation Paperclip. We gave people new names and new identities.
They're not Nazi. They're not Nazi scientists.
We need them.
They're good.
That's all proven. It's all put out in the public. So, despite Zamora seeing two beings, the idea of footprints present at the site has long been debated. So here's the problem. According to Sergeant Sam Chavez, Chavez, no shoe prints or human tracks were found on the ground. What is out without question is that many of the brushes in the air were burned badly.
Bang. Okay, thrusters. Got it. This is great.
So we have indents on the ground.
We have indents on the ground.
And we have brushes that were burned badly.
Yeah. So the hardest thing to do is to find the footprints. And I got to tell you, bro, the way the sand moves around here, the ground, if you are blasting off with all that thrust and it's burning the sagebrush, it's going to wipe away very quickly your footprints.
Yeah.
Especially if you're right next to the ship when you stepped out of it.
Well, who knows how their suits are? Are they anti-gravitational? I mean, like what?
Yeah, what's the surface, this slip
Are
function?
they hovering around?
We don't even know.
He wasn't paying it. You're not going to pay attention to see if they were actually like walking properly or not.
I would have been like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, you're just seeing this out. You're expecting a car to be turned over, and then you see an alien spacecraft.
Yeah, with two guys in white jumpsuits.
Yeah, it says there were 4 shallow holes where the object apparently landed on its legs. There were burned greasewood and seared dumps of green grass. There
seared
were
clump.
2 round, very
CL,
slight. Seared clump. Sorry,
dumps.
Oh, my eyes. I'm just as bad as Lonnie. They were 2 round, very slight depressions. No footprints were found. So
2 round,
very slight depressions. Are they talking about where the legs were at?
How does the thing balance on 2 legs?
Well, that artist rendering showed 4, right? There were 4 shallow holes where the object apparently landed on its legs. There were burnt greasewood and seared clumps of green grass there were 2 round, very slight depression. Okay, so were the greasewood and seared clumps of green grass? There was 2 of those, and they had like a little depression. So they're separating the 2.
Bro.
It's from it's from the thrusters.
It's the thrusters driving into
the ground. So there was 2
ground.
thrusters.
Okay, so we have 2 thrusters.
That explains that.
And 4 legs.
Yes.
Okay, all right. That was not well.
And it was a slight depression where it was burnt at. So it wasn't like our rockets would have left a hole in the ground.
Yeah. That means like,
and then everything would have been burnt.
The area of thrust is like right out of where the booster is, not carried further down. Interesting.
I mean, how close can you be to a rocket here?
Well, that means the amount of mass that you're throwing out of the booster is extremely efficient, but it doesn't need to carry far to create a lot of thrust. I don't have to push a lot of it out. I just need it in a short space to actually send it up.
Yeah, and it's so funny how this is quick to how the government does things. The insignia that was initially released, because there was that insignia on...
Well, he said when it was taken off, I could see something on it.
Right. The insignia that was initially released differed from that of which Zamora actually saw. Investigators advised that the release of a phony symbol might help with identifying any potential hoaxers attempting to deceive.
Okay.
So everybody's like, oh, yeah, I seen that symbol on another aircraft. I saw it I was out in my ranch.
Okay, so you're all liars.
Yeah.
Someone could say, that looks like it, but it's not actually what I saw. Then you're onto something interesting.
Yeah, and according to Zamora, he was told not to describe the symbol publicly. So this has to be all this captain doing this investigation. And he has to be telling... Because in 1960s, a captain from the Army comes, does an investigation. People have to understand this.
I know the symbol.
There is... Oh, here we go.
Wow. Go ahead. No, keep talking. I'm going to pull up the picture.
There is a lot of respect for rank. So you're in most of the people that were the state patrol people, the police officers were all military. Probably were previous military. So when a captain in the Army says, I need your camera. I need this. I need that. People back in those days they responded favorably to authoritative figures.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay.
So yeah, whatever you want, Captain. You know, we're on the same team here. If this is going to help investigate this and figure this out, then
bro, this is going to blow your mind. So just grab the symbol for me real quick.
Okay, so let me get to
and if you're a state trooper, you'd be like, whatever you want, boss.
I want to.
Hey.
Sorry, bro. You started it, and then I started it. This isn't boring. I'm actually interested. It's just I can't stop. I stayed up too late, too. The signal is generally described as a red inverted V with 3 lines running across it. So is this the fake one that they sent, or is this the actual one?
No, that's the one he's talking about.
Right.
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm. Where's that from?
Very interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lady who wrote a book here in Albuquerque. And she was a doctor here at University of New Mexico, of whatever. And she ended up being a channel for these things called the Arcturians.
Put that up so people can see it.
We the Arcturians is what the book's called. White cover.
Can you put that symbol up so people can see it on the screen?
I can't, but I can hold it up here.
Hopefully people can see that.
You should be able to see it there.
That's 3 lines.
It's 3 lines.
He's showing it a little bit differently, but
it's slightly different. But she said this is the imagery.
But I would be curious to see if
they said they carry on their craft. They said this image is representative of their species and their craft.
Well, what I would think too is if when he saw the symbol, did he have his glasses off? You know, because if you have red lines like that with the black, you know, the lines could be squiggly move. I've had that where like, I just did that. Is that clump or dump?
I know.
It's CL or is that a D?
But did you see how this is the first thing that came to mind?
Yeah.
I had this picture. This is in my archive. And I had read this book, and it took me a long time to look for this lady's artist rendering of it that she talked about, and this is what it was.
Well, that makes sense. That's what he said here. A red inverted V with 3 lines running across it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. So this is. So can we get into a little bit of that species?
That'd be a totally separate thing for us to go into. Yeah. Like, there's so much involved with that species. It would just, dude, I'm talking years of just going through it.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Incubation states with their offspring, stuff like that, color, sizing.
Are they humanoid looking?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make
sense. Do they walk around? No, they float.
Oh, well, then there's no footprints. Yeah.
No footprints.
According to a declassified Air Force document uncovered by filmmaker James Fox, the actual symbol was drawn by Dr. J. Allen Hynek in September of 1964. So who's Dr. J. Allen, Hynek? Can you look him up? Dr. J. Allen Hynek. Who's that guy?
Look this guy up right here. Hynek. J. Allen Hynek.
Hynek.
Yeah, I'm freaking searching this thing right now. Okay. He was an American astronomer, professor, and ufologist. Best remembered for his research on Project Bluebook. Astrophysicist. Yeah, J. Allen Hynek.
Is he still alive?
No. Died in Scottsdale, age 75, 1986.
That's young, 75.
Yeah.
Probably a smoker.
Yeah, who knows what's going on.
So, Project Bluebook investigation. Let's get into this.
I don't think we can. I gotta hop to a meeting, and I feel horrible saying that on air.
Oh yeah.
But
you gotta go right now.
But I literally do. So
okay, cool.
When we come back, we will talk about Project Bluebook.